Here's a Beyond the Pitch podcast quick hit from the WVSA Digital Network.
If we look at the general human experience, there was this beautiful study that was done years ago that really tried to map out, like, what are the emotions that all humans experience? They wanted to look across cultures. They just wanted to understand, like, human nature, human experience, what are the emotions that are in that? And what they identified is 14 human emotions that across all cultures we experience. And what I often do with my athletes is I will pull out this really cool, it's like a map of the human body that maps how it is that each of those emotions show up in our bodies. So like for shame, it's very, very typical when we experience shame to experience a lot of like warmth behind the eyes and a lot of coolness or numbness in the rest of our body. And that's an indicator, oh, I'm feeling shame. Anyway, I will pull out this sheet and I will show them all of these emotions and I'll say, okay, go through these 14 emotions. And as you look at these 14 emotions, I want you to tell me how many of those are really pleasant. And the typical answer that I get is 2, maybe 3, sometimes 4 if they really like surprise, and that's a positive, pleasant emotion for them. So then I go, okay, so if the human experience is that we're supposed to experience these 14 things and only 2 or 3 or 4 of them are positive, if we were to experience every emotion kind of in the same proportion of time throughout our lives, we'd spend a whole lot of time in emotions that don't feel real good. That's just human nature. And yet we live in a society that says, oh, you have to be happy all the time. You have to feel good all the time. You have to be comfortable all the time. So we send a message in our society that is completely counter to what the actual lived human experience is like. And for the athletes that I work with, when we look at it that way, they go, oh, well, why am I holding on to this idea that I have to be happy all the time? Sure, it feels good. I would prefer to experience those pleasant feelings, but it's okay when the other stuff comes up. And if I get really good at it, I can start recognizing kind of, I call it the space for and. Yes, I feel shame, and I feel anxiety, and I feel hope, or and I feel surprise, or and I feel contentment, or whatever it is. We start to learn to just embrace that human experience that says all of these emotions are supposed to be here, and they're almost indicator lights that say, okay, what is it that I need to look at? If I'm experiencing shame in this moment because I haven't been able to do the thing that I really, really wanted to do in that drill, and everybody's been watching me, and I'm feeling really crummy about it, and all of that kind of stuff, what is that really telling me? Well, it's really telling me that it's important to me to master what it is that's in front of me, or it's really important to me that people see me in a certain way, or whatever it is. And once we know what that emotion is pointing to, then we can start working through relating to those beliefs, ideas, desires in a different way that doesn't leave us feeling like we're about ready to drop off a cliff if we allow ourselves to feel the feeling.